Hi everyone and welcome to Why Not Spanish. My name is Maria and I'm a Spanish teacher from Colombia.
And my name's Cody and I am a Spanish student.
And today we'll give you a basic guide on how to start learning Spanish. An advice I always give to someone who's wanting to start learning Spanish,
Including me,
is to start learning the pronunciation of the language. The good news is that you can get really good at pronunciation very quickly if you pay attention to the vowels. Listen. A, E, I, O, U. And consistently, in any combination or word, we will pronounce them like that. How about we work on these sounds now? You can do it, just listen to me, look at my mouth, and try to produce the same sound. A, E, I, O, U.
All right, let me give it a try. So it's A, E, I, O, U.
Try again with the A.
Okay, A.
Yeah, that's right. A.
And you gave me some good advice on that. It's the A is like what?
Well, I don't know if it's great advice, but it's like if someone punches you on your stomach.
So
Ah.
Yeah.
Ah. Because Cody was doing like oh.
Ah. Yes.
Oh. That's not right. It's ah.
A, E, I, O, U.
That's right.
Let's go.
Now let's mix a consonant with the vowels.
Ooh.
Let's take the letter P. Just listen and repeat. Pa,
Pa,
pe,
pe,
pi,
pi,
po,
po,
pu.
pu.
Pa, pe, pi, po, pu.
Pa, pe, pi, po, pu.
You can basically do this with different consonants and the sound of the vowels will be the same. So that's the first advice. Master the sounds of vowels to avoid getting words like color and calor mixed up. Listen and repeat. Color,
Color,
calor.
calor.
And I don't know if you paid attention to the position of my lips. When I said color, I was pronouncing the O, so my lips were kind of rounded. So, color,
Color.
calor.
So your mouth kind of drops for that. So calor.
Yes, when I say calor, I open my mouth a little bit more. I let my jaw drop. Calor. Keep in mind that learning a language is a very personal journey. It can take you 6 months or it can take you 15 years.
Some people pick up things really quickly. Other people they just don't, and it takes them a very long time, and maybe they study a little bit here, a little bit there. They don't study consistently, whereas somebody else could be obsessed with it and study all the time and learn very quickly. Don't put yourself down when you see somebody else who maybe learns faster than you, or you've been learning for a while, like me. You still maybe haven't got there yet. You're gonna get there eventually if you keep trying.
No matter what, you'll always be learning something new, and if you ask 100 different people what's worked for them, you'll probably get 100 different answers because everyone learns differently and what might work for someone else might not work for you. So a lot of trial and error is advisable before giving up. People who learn another language or many other languages are not geniuses. They just found ways to enjoy their language learning process and they made it relevant to their lives.
And one important thing about that, they're not geniuses. So that doesn't mean that if you haven't learned, you're not stupid either. Because a lot of people seem to put themselves down a lot and tell themselves that they're dumb, that's why they haven't learned and all that stuff. But that's not true. Have fun, make it enjoyable. If you're not enjoying it, you're not going to want to do it.
Okay, so you are already familiar with the pronunciation, you can already pronounce the vowels, no problem. Now, what are you gonna do? I suggest you start learning ways to ask for help. Learn to ask questions such as ¿qué es? ¿Qué significa? ¿Cómo se dice? ¿Puedes repetir, por favor?
These questions will be kind of like a lifesaver when you don't know how to say something or when you need help from another person.
Thanks, Cape Crusader.
You cannot believe the amount of students who prefer to pretend they are understanding. And I have to admit, I'm guilty of this as well. Sometimes I've become a very good actor where I just, And I'm totally clueless of what's going on, and that's not what you want to do. You got to swallow your pride and ask some questions.
So how about we start getting familiar with some questions that will come in handy as you start and continue learning Spanish. Just listen and repeat, but try and focus on the sounds I'm making. Let's start. ¿Cómo se dice? ¿Cómo se dice?
¿Cómo se dice?
¿Qué es? ¿Qué es?
¿Qué es?
¿Puedes repetir, por favor? ¿Puedes repetir, por favor?
¿Puedes repetir, por favor?
Let's do it again. ¿Cómo se dice?
¿Cómo se dice?
¿Qué es?
¿Qué es?
¿Puedes repetir, por favor?
¿Puedes repetir, por favor?
These questions will not only help you communicate a bit better, but also if you pay attention, you will also learn new words, gain confidence interacting, and let the other person know you are genuinely interested in learning their language.
When you start learning a language, it's important to make it relevant to your life. That means focus on learning the Spanish you will most likely use in your daily life. For me, that would be greeting my neighbors, asking for prices, going to a restaurant and ordering off a menu, or asking for directions.
What do you typically do in your language? What do you say throughout your day? Who do you talk to and what topics do you talk about often? Make a list and start finding ways to say similar things in Spanish. A topic you can also start working on is talking about yourself. This means learning how to give and ask about basic personal information. Try not to focus on the whys and hows of grammar yet. Just get familiar with the frequent ways to talk about information like this. Me llamo María, soy colombiana, tengo 34 años y vivo en Bogotá.
Me llamo Cody, soy estadounidense, tengo 37 años y vivo en Bogotá.
I'm gonna ask Cody some questions. Pay attention to how he answers. In the question, you'll have the clue to answer. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Me llamo María. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Me llamo Cody.
Soy colombiana. ¿De dónde eres?
Soy estadounidense.
Tengo 34 años. ¿Cuántos años tienes?
Tengo 37 años.
Vivo en Bogotá. ¿Y tú?
Vivo en Bogotá también. Now it's your turn.
I'll ask and you answer, but listen to how I give you the information and try to imitate it to give your answer. Are you ready? Hola, me llamo María. ¿Cómo te llamas? Vivo en Bogotá. ¿Y tú? ¿En dónde vives? You'll need to learn a number to talk about your age and a nationality to talk about where you're from. But this is already a lot of Spanish for you to start a very basic introduction.
Work on creating a system. Find ways to be in touch with the language every day.
You can listen to music and look for the lyrics just for fun. No need to understand every single word. Follow accounts on social media about topics that interest you in Spanish, or find a radio station in Spanish just to have on in the background.
One more step you can take after you become familiar with introductions is finding frequent combinations of words like buenos días, por favor, mucho gusto, un placer, de nada.
These are very frequent, very basic chunks of language. You're probably already familiar with them, and from here you already have a good foundation on how to start learning Spanish and can move on to a bit more complex things. Something I want you to keep in mind is to work on imitation exercises. You can find audios with short sentences and transcripts and try to imitate the sounds you hear at the same time, kind of like singing a song with no music. This is a great exercise to improve your pronunciation.
Okay, let's review what we talked about today. Get familiar with the pronunciation of Spanish. Focus on the vowels. Learn ways to ask for help with questions like ¿qué es? Or ¿cómo se dice? Find the Spanish you need to learn by making it relevant to your life. Learn to give basic introductions and ask personal information questions. Find ways to be in touch with the language and get familiar with frequent combinations of words.
It is possible to learn Spanish on your own when you find the time and dedication to look for the right material. A disclaimer before we finish. The videos you'll find on Why Not Spanish are mostly in Spanish, and they do have subtitles, so this video where we speak English is really an exception.
But we thought it would be a useful video for those of you who have the desire to start and don't know how to approach learning a language.
You can find more videos for beginner students on this playlist. They are older videos, but they have useful information, and if you need a more structured approach and in-depth Spanish lessons, you should check out our courses on our website, whynotspanish.com.
Let us know in the comments below what your reason is for learning Spanish. And if you like this type of video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out a lot, and make sure to hit the like button.
Thanks for watching, and remember, if you're gonna learn a language,
Why not Spanish?
ciao!
Ciao.